In this one, we have the banking sector. Can you see everything? Yeah, you can see everything. All right, let's look at the BlackRock. I mean, where's the? Let me get this out of the way. There you go. Okay, I'm sorry. This screen is too small. I thought something was funny. You can't see the bottom of it. However, this was January 1st or January 11th right here. So the high of the year was January 11th, and it looks like I mean, it's about to break out. We had the reversal point right here, which was March. Let's go into the day. Yeah. So it hit basically the 100 on the daily, and then has taken off. We're about to fill the gap. This is about to take off. Let's look at we'll just go boom. And try to get this into the screen. Oh, they have weekly options as well. So it's something that we could play per the week. So this is 6 days from now. Uh it is quite expensive. In the smaller accounts, this might be a little bit out of our price range, just because um, you're looking at, like, if you wanted to buy right here, it's going to cost you $900, and that's larger than what we invested in the stock. So that wouldn't make sense for our portfolio. However, I would, if you have a larger portfolio, this looks like it's about to break out to new highs. However, with our portfolio, which we're discussing, it's too big. It's too big because in order for it, we'd have to go. Where's the high? The high is 788. We'd have to literally go to right around here 790, and with only 6 days left, I that's not something I would want to want to take. Now on my speculative account, yeah, but on a growth, like a growth builder, then no. Let's go over to, we'll go right here. FAS is different, and I'll explain that in just a second. So Northern Trust, if we're looking at Northern Trust, this looks pretty too. This looks pretty. So on the, let's go to the weekly chart. So obviously this is Corona, but if before Corona it was pretty much, it was kind of in a range bound. It had broken out of the range, but then like this is the high over the last 3 years. Got kind of stopped out, broke down, but then on the this, remember the red one is the 50. So when did it really? It crossed over last November 9th, and since it's stayed above, and this was January 25th. So January 25th, or the week of January 25th is when it hit the 50 and the 100 on instead of resistance on support. Let's go on the day. So yeah, and that's around this point right here. So if we look at the daily, like the end of January, right here, it hit it, and this is the 100 on the daily. And since then, it's hit the 50, bounced off the 50, came back, hit the 50 again, and had a couple days around there, but then has taken off, made a new high, and now look at that, it's on what, the 20. So Northern Trust looks like it wants to take out and make that new high of a few days ago of 107. Now, since this is where would your, okay, yeah, that looks perfect too. So when it breaks out of the 107, look for a target of 110.55. At least it slow down right there. If it doesn't slow down there, then the next target would be 116. Goldman Sachs. Let's take this to the week. Let's erase all this. This is all old. However, this one is not. If you are looking back, this is on the low to it goes back further. The last high since that point in time, it is broken out one on the beginning of the month or beginning of the year, excuse me, and retested not only the 100% breakout, which is right here, but the 100% breakout coincided with the 9 week high. I mean, so if you're looking at this, this is really taken off since November of last year. It was at 200, and it's basically gone on a 150 point tear without looking back. Um, let's look at the daily. So on the daily chart, um, let me get rid of this because that's in my way. All right, so on the daily, we had on March 18th is when we hit the all-time high. Then we had 5 straight days of down. It looks like it's starting to build a little bit of momentum right here as the 50-day moving average is catching up by time, right? So if you look at it, this is March 5th. So it's above where it was on March 5th. It looks like it's just waiting for the 50 to come up, 50 and the 100 to come up before it takes its time. Cuz what? This is January 29th, and January 29th would be the last little upward trajectory and our last large pullback, and it doesn't look like it's getting anywhere close to that. So what that would be telling me is that it's just waiting for the time. So if you see the 100-day is above the lowest low, or the beginning, or you understand what I'm saying, the support which it had at the beginning of the year. So Goldman Sachs looks decent. I would wait for it to kind of turn just a little bit more, since this is, I mean, what I did is I think I got in here last week. Um, for 1 or 2 days, it was great, and then I've had to help. I forgot last week was a short week. That's my own fault. I forgot. Yesterday was Great Friday or Black Friday, whatever, or no, Good Friday. There we go. Um, so that hurt me, but if we can retest this high. What if you look at it? We closed the gap, and then we shot back higher off the gap. We ended the day plus 64, so that's not bad. We're looking for a breakout of the 35 to retest the highs, but again, it might take 1 or 2 days for the 50 to catch up. BX Blackstone Group. This looks this looks like a winner. Let's go into the weekly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, earnings are April 22nd. So just keep that in mind. It could break out. Like if you're buying for options or if you're buying the stock, then yes, that's part of the portfolio. I need you to understand all these stocks we already own, right? So it's not whether we're in these stocks for the long haul. What we're trying to do is buy options or look at opportunities where we can increase our ability to buy more stocks, right? Without having to put more money into the account. We're trying to make some money. We're very restricted on what we can do with the options. We can really just basically buy and sell them. We can't do any margin based strategies. So what we're doing is just looking over again. So again, all these stocks we already own in the portfolio. These are just looking for quick um, weekly or daily trends that we can capitalize off of. Now we're looking at the daily. It doesn't show us. What did it do on the last calls all the way up until this is August of last year? We went down after a call, but in October we rose. In January we rose after the call. It hit the 100-day. This is Um, on March 4th. Sorry about that. Um, and yes, I do speak Spanish. Uh, where was I? Yes, on the daily, it hit the 100 and the 100-day moving average and just bounced. And that was March 3rd. Now, let's look at how this looks. Yeah, it looks like we could one or two things is going to happen. It's going to blow out big, or it's going to like get rejected, come back to 9 and then try again. Let's this one I say we could look at 13 days. The no, I say this April 21st, right? Because when did no, this is the 23rd. No, that's wrong. So we would want to do the 16th. So they remember they report on the 22nd. So I wouldn't want to carry into the report. I'd carry up to the report on anticipation they're going to break out good. But it's just too much of a gamble, not knowing what would too much of their what could happen at the report. So 76.25 is the high. I'll go 76. 13 days 102. Let's write this down. That one looks like it's cool. Now, of course, I wouldn't hold it. I would get rid of it if would start losing money. Okay. 76. April 13 days. All right, on to the next one. Bank of America. Yeah. This one almost looks better than BX. Yeah, this they report again on the 15th. So they report next or in 2 weeks. So we'd have to be very careful with this one, just because they're reporting. Um, now their earnings could blow off and just be amazing, and they could go sky high, and that's why we own some of it, or it could not be what we want, and it could be quite ugly. That's why I wouldn't want to hold the option going into it, but leading up to it would seem fine to me. The This is on the what day? The 15th. So no, we wouldn't be able to go. I mean, we could buy. Let's see, the 39.50 up. Yeah, I kind of like that one. Now, of course, all these could change going into the market on Monday, because the prices could change, and the perspective of what we're looking at could be different. So don't just buy blindly if you're listening on come Monday or Tuesday or whenever you decide whenever you look. So just make sure that you're paying attention to what's going on. Now there's a lot of volume or open interest at the 43. So that you got to pay attention to that as well, and the 40. So you pay attention to your open interest. There's a lot of money that's going on right there. The 39.50, April 13th. Look at, well, again, Chuck looks amazing too. Doesn't look like it's pulling back anytime soon. It's right on brand new highs, all time highs. I'm guessing majority of these. What is? Wait a minute, Chuck. They have earnings on 415. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking at their weekly chart, it looks amazing. If you're looking at their daily chart, also looks amazing. Looks amazing. Let's talk to Chuck, man. They're What's the all-time high? 68. One oh two's 13 days away. 68. We're at 60. Nah. Um, it'd be a great idea. I kind of already have two of them that I'm scoping at, and but this looks awesome. If you see it, so we're looking at a breakout of 67.90. KKR, we um let's look at the weekly, but I would, yeah, KKR, we just broke out to brand new highs in the week of the on the weekly chart. On the daily chart on Thursday, it was a brand new high. So this one we might have missed it, but let's do this. Let's check this out. They're saying it's 50% of the move that it's capable of. The 100% move would be 55. So if you see that kind of draw, if you see what I did, draw that same little line. Be careful on the 50, 52. On this, I would wait for a pullback and then go for it. Okay, finally, one that I'm not 100%. Oh, well, no. If you look at this, look at this. So we're looking pretty good, right? So I'm gonna draw this line from here. Yep, that's exactly what I suspected. So it it's above this support right here, right? But then I was wondering, why is it stopping at this point right here? And it makes sense because it's at the point, or the 2 3.6 uh on the Fibonacci extension. So if it can break above here and hold above the 26 or 206.14, then look for the 215 all the way up to the 100% of the move would be 232. But I wouldn't just keep tracking it. That is it's an interesting one. TROW, I mean, these are all looking like the gas is on. Just hit the 9, nowhere near the 50, or just hit the 20, nowhere near the 50. Looks good. The FAS, this is the one that, all right, so the FAS is the ETF. It's, what does it say? Yes, the Bulls ETF. Um, if you look on this one, it bounced off of this line. It's a Fibonacci based off something. I don't. You can draw your own lines and find those numbers. However, it bounced literally perfectly. It almost hit the 101 mark. I got kind of screwed on that one. Uh, 2 weeks ago, but then I got back in around here. So it's not in the banking portfolio, it's in the speculative portfolio. But this one, if all the banks are doing well, then we're looking to break out of the 101 and hit to the 125. It really all depends on how the earnings come out um, the week next week. So if let's look at the so on this one, it's a little bit more expensive. That's why it's in the speculative count. But this could move, and it could move big. So that the 105, it looks like it's, I mean, that's 12 points out of the money. But in actuality, I would say that this is a easier bet to make than on an individual stock right before an earnings call. Because if one of the with one if you're betting on one and it goes bad, then it could just be terrible. But if the rest of the sector goes up, then this one particular stock could go up. So if I would hedge myself at the 105s right here, I think I have the 100s not on this expiration. I think it's at the end of April. Just because I'm trying to hold a little bit longer on FAS, just because I like the chart and it looks beautiful to me, and I am trying to hold it to the 125. Yep, and that would be the financial sector.